This is F9, day 1, and we're introducing you to another way of writing the sound. We've already learnt that ER can make the sound. Now we're learning that IR can make the same sound. These are all R-controlled vowels, so when we put a vowel with an R, we call them R-controlled vowels. You've learnt AR as in car, ER as in fern, IR we're learning now as in bird, and you've learnt OR like in corn. We haven't learnt this UR one. So the tricky thing is ER, IR and UR all say So what you have to do is remember which of these words, try and put all these words together in your brain so you remember that these are all the IR words. So we've got bird, dirt, girl, stir, shirt, third, birth, first, skirt, twirl. Now there's quite a bit of other information in this list for you too. So you can see, and you might remember, that after we have a long vowel sound, and R-controlled vowels are always making a long vowel sound, if it's a short word with a long vowel sound that ends with L, we only put one L. So we've got girl, and we've also got twirl there. Now what else have we got? We've got the SH saying shh, which should be pretty easy for you by now. We've got the TH saying th, which should be pretty easy for you as well. And how do we know whether to use a C or a K for the k sound in the word? We look at the next letter. And if the next letter, the letter after a k sound is an I, we can say there's a K hidden inside an I. So we know to use a K before the I for the k sound. Right, let's go and have a look at what these words all mean now. So a bird is an animal with feathers and a beak, and most birds can fly, but not all birds have to be able to fly. So there are some birds that don't, but they do have to have feathers. Dirt might be when you're out playing in the mud and you might look at your hands and you've got dirt all over them. So if we wanted that to say dirty, we'd have to put a little Y at the end. So dirt is like soil or something that makes things dirty. A girl is a female, a young female. Stir is what you do when you're making a cake or you're making a stir fry. You have to stir the ingredients. And even if you're making cement, you have to stir up the mix. A shirt is something that you wear on the top half of your body. Third comes from the number 3, and it means you come third in a race, or a thing is third in line. Birth is when you're born, when you're a baby. It could be a person, it could be any sort of animal. When they're first born, we say it's their birth. First is when you come first at something, or something is first in line. It's a number 1 position of something. A skirt is something that you wear from your waist down, usually if you're a female. And if you twirl or run around in circles or spin in circles, you're twirling, your skirt will fly out like a ballerina's. So you can also twirl paint too to make circles. Right, let's read these words, sound them, spell them and write them. So we've got bird, bird, B-I-R-D, 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 B-I-R-D. And you can finish the rest of that page on your own. F9 day 2, we're revising the IR for the sound. So we can have spelled IR, we can have it spelled ER, and we haven't learnt this one, we can also write the sound UR. So what we're doing today is trying to remember that these words all have the IR for the sound. So I've got stir, shirt, third, birth, first, skirt, twirl. Now if we go back, we can also see there's some other things hidden in here as well that we're revising. So after a long vowel sound, we know we use one L. IR can be at the end of words, but usually if you look at these, it's usually in the middle of a word. Here we've got the th sound at the start of a word and at the end of a word. Here we know to use a K before an I because we say in an I you can see the letter K is hidden. So that tells us if the letter after a curt sound is an I, we must use a K before it. Once again, we've got a long vowel sound, so we put one L at the end of a word. Short word, long vowel sound, use one L. Right, let's read the words, sound the words, spell the words, and then write the words. So we're going bird, B-I-R-D, cover it, and write it. So say it, dirt, sound it, dirt, spell it, D-I-R-T. And you can finish those ones on your own. Write a list word to match the meaning and join to the picture. A top to wear would be a shirt. So you write the word there. And an animal that can fly, mix, stuff on the ground to spin around. So you can write down the missing word for all of those. Fill in the gap with the missing list word. A something can wear a something. A girl can wear a skirt. You can finish the rest of them all on your own. Down here you have to make new words. Change third to, and the picture gives you a hint, bird. Change girl, twirl to girl. Change shirt to skirt. So the picture is giving you the hint for the word that you have to replace the bolded words with. Off you go. F9 day 3, we're revising that IR can make the sound in a word. So we already know that ER says now we're learning IR also says So they're both R controlled vowels and they make a long vowel sound. So let's highlight the sound as we read these words. We've got bird, dirt, girl, stir, shirt, third, birth, first, skirt, twirl. So then you have to go back and read the word, sound the word, spell the word, cover it and write it. So we've got bird, B-I-R-D, cover it and write it. Dirt, D-I-R-T. Girl, G-I-R-L. You can finish those on your own. Skirt, one skirt, one girl, one shirt. They're all singular. We need to make them into plurals, which means we're going to add an S to all of these. Two skirts, two girls, or lots of girls, many shirts. So you have to add an S to each of those base words. Verb families, stirs, stirred, stirring. Look at this, we've got two R's when we add the ED, two R's when we add the ING. So all you have to do here is write the base word. Proofreading, you have to work out which word spelled correctly in the line and then write it on that line. Combined with the list word, a something day, probably a birthday, a blue, something. Put in alphabetical order, so say the alphabet. When you find a word, or if you find a word that has the same first letter in each of them, then you look at the second letter. Oh, look, B, B, I, so we have to look at the third one, R. So now we're looking at the fourth letter in each of them. Which one comes first in the alphabet? A D or a T. D comes before a T. So this one would come before this one. Bird would come before birth. You have to write them in alphabetical order along the bottom down there. F9 day 4, we're talking about conjunctions today. And conjunctions are words that you can use such as and, because, but, or to join one part of a sentence with another part of a sentence. So let's see if we can read these words. We've got or, and, but, because, or, and, but, because, or, and, but, because, or, and. So they're fairly easy, it's just those 4 words up there. You have to choose which is the correct conjunction to use to join this part of the sentence with that part of the sentence. And it will sound right to you. So let's see, she is friends with Sam or Jake. That doesn't sound right. She is friends with Sam and Jake. Yes, that sounds right. Let's tick that one, and then you can write it in to that little jigsaw piece, that missing bit in the middle. You can do the others on your own, and down the bottom you have to write 4 sentences. You've got to use and in one, because in another, but in one, and the last one has to have or in it. There's 4 lines for 4 sentences for 4 words. Off you go.